is a stunning blue sky day here in Hameenlinna, Finland. It is about 3 degrees and I am here on a day trip from Tampere. It's about a 45-minute train journey down the tracks. It's cost me around €10 to get down here, but I am looking forward to doing some exploring of some of the lakes and parks and the city centre itself. But before I move on to the parks, the station here is one of the oldest in the country because it was part of the original Helsinki to Hämeenlinna line that was laid in 1862, and unfortunately the original station building was destroyed in 1918 during the Finnish Civil War, but it was rebuilt out of red brick in 1921. So a little bit of history. Trains racing past me. I am going to get going, make use out of this incredible weather and have a look around. Go. If you're feeling brave, you can get in the water. Perhaps more importantly, you can get out of the water. Say that I've made it. Beautiful walk along the lake, but I'm now at a place called Aulanko Historical Park, Nature Reserve and Recreation Area. This is a little map. You can see that I started down here somewhere and I've walked along this lake, and up here I'm now where this red dot is, and I'm hoping to weave my way around this park area and then maybe come out somewhere down here. But looking at this, there are trails, swan lakes, granite castles, lookout towers, jetties, hiking routes, swimming places. Looks like this park has it all. So I think what I'm going to do is head into the woods. I saw on a signpost that there was a granite castle at the next entrance along, so I decided to walk along to it, and oh boy, look at this. This is amazing. I'm not sure about the history. Maybe there'll be a sign somewhere. I didn't even know it was here. But these are the best days when you stumble upon things like this. Let's go and see if we can go through and into the park. Unbelievable. What a find. Look at this. You can even go up here and climb all over it. See what's about. Oh man, look, you can even go up there. Let's see if we can do it. Let's see if there is a gate at the bottom that stops us from... I don't think there is. Look at this. This is just unreal. Up we go. I bet we get some stunning views of the lake from up here. Just imagine, hundreds of years ago, soldiers up here defending this area. And there we go, look at that. That's where I've just come from. I've probably walked about 3 miles to get here, but totally worth it. Right, let's see if we can get a bit deeper into the park. Just seen this pretty little swan lake. You can see an island in the middle there as well. And it looks like there is a very small, short, circular walk. So we'll take a look, I think, and see what's around the other side. I've seen a few signs for what they're calling a observation tower, so I think we'll follow the arrows and see if we can make it there. Just decided to follow a more minor trail through the undergrowth and the large, really high trees. Hopefully this is a bit of a shortcut that will take me to the next lake, a small one, and then we'll hopefully come out somewhere near this observation tower. Come to a crossroads here. Got a path that way, a path that way, a path that way. I think it's this way. Let's go for it. I've arrived at another one of those intersections. So there's a pathway going down the hill. There's a pathway going kind of up the hill a little bit. And that is the pathway that I have just used to get here. Standing on a large boulder. I thought it was going to be like a viewpoint. And it is to a certain extent, but you can't see a huge amount just yet. So I think what I'm going to do is head this direction here, up this hill. And I've got to say, as I'm walking up, I just wanted to say that these are, without a doubt, my favourite travel days. You know, I'm spending 4 days in Tampere, and before I visited the city, I did a lot of research, worked out where I was staying, learned a little bit about the history and the culture, so I knew the city pretty well before I got there, which is good in one respect, but the other side of that is there are no surprises, whereas today I decided to come here last minute. The only research I really did was to check out a map and see that it looked like an interesting place, and I did a little bit of research on the train on the way here, but that was it. And so finding all of these things, oh man, you're gonna think I've set this up, but look at this. Exactly what I was talking about. Look at that little wooden cabin in the woods, and I think right there is the observation tower that I've seen on the map. Very sadly, it looks like the tower is closed. Forbidden to go to the platform, danger. What a shame. So I guess instead we'll have to see if we can make use of that observation area over there. What an incredible sight. I am totally blown away by what I've seen today. Just all of this incredible scenery everywhere you go around here. It is just amazing. When I arrived in the city, I was expecting to maybe spend an hour walking around the lakes and then head into the city centre and the castle, but I've been out here for nearly 4 or 5 hours now, so I've only got a few hours of light left, so I'm going to head back to the city centre soon so I can see the city and the castle in the daylight before it gets dark. But before I head back, I just thought I would tell you a few things about the area that I'm in. So Finland is broken down into 4 landscape regions, and one of them, the region that I'm in, is called Lakeland, which is no surprise because there are lakes just everywhere, and it is the largest lake district in Europe. In Finland, as in the country, there are over 188,000 lakes and over 180,000 islands, so there are plenty to go around. I am going now to head back, as I said, towards the city centre, but before I do, just one last look at this amazing green forest and trees and lakes. The area is just wonderful. Look at that, there's the postcard shot right ahead of me. Okay, we better make a move. passing by the Artillery, Engineers and Signals Museum. It is a military museum, and I can see lots of military hardware outside of the museum itself. It goes into the history of the Finnish military, dating back to medieval times right up until the present. Pretty interesting place, I would imagine. But I'm heading for the castle, which is now straight ahead. Häme Castle. I assume it's Häme and not Ham. I will ask when I'm inside, but it says here one of Finland's few surviving medieval brick buildings. Häme Castle has stood guard over the narrows of Lake Vanejavasi for over 700 years. The exhibitions of the 3 museums located in the blank 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 blank. Come and marvel at the sturdy walls of the castle, walk the castle's history, take part in the medieval festival, or hold your own celebration in the castle's restaurant. Häme Castle is your gateway to the rich cultural heritage of the Häme region. So this is where I have just walked. There you go, I walked along there. There's the military museum with the various hardware out the front. This is the lake here, so the castle complex is right there ahead of me, and I'm somewhere, there I am, the information sign just on the entrance. Various different areas, buildings of the castle. So I think I'm gonna head up there, and hopefully it is still open. I've made it into the castle, overlooking the beautiful lake there. There it is. And it costs 12 euros to get inside. That gives you access to the grounds and the museum that is inside. There is a history museum about the castle's history, and there is also some art display going on in there as well, so you get access to all of that. I'll give you a little bit of information on the castle itself. You can see the castle on the ground floor here was built from grey stone. This is the original part of the castle. So the castle was built originally in the 13th century. 100 years later, in the 14th century, they added to the castle with red brick, and you can see that from the 2nd floor up. After the castle was finished being used as a castle itself, they transformed it into a prison. I'll just show you in here. I was in here a few seconds ago. Should wear my mask. I'll quickly go in and out again. There's no one else in here. This is the well delivering clean water to the castle. Some original foundation here, I think, as well. Look at this. Either that or a basement area. And go down there. And then the red brick mixing with grey stone over there as well. Lots of little information screens about, touch screens, so you can switch it to English. Why does the floor have holes in it? There we go, you can read all about why the floor has holes. I've never thought about this before, but to create something like this, you need lots of different shapes of brick, and this is a little illustration as to all the different shapes that they had here at one time forming the castle. Look at that, that looks like a musical note. Interesting, lots of displays on the 3rd floor now. Finally, I've made it into the city centre, better late than never. Already I'm seeing things that I really like the look of. Old cobbled stone roads, lots of old wooden buildings behind me there, plenty more in the distance. So I'm going to take a walk through the city. I think it's a city of 68,000 people. It is a lot bigger than it kind of feels. I've managed to find the tiny little park in the centre of the city that is now home to the statue of Jean Sibelius, widely regarded as Finland's greatest ever composer. He was born in 1865, died in 1957, and when he was growing up, the Grand Duchy of Finland was an autonomous region of the Russian Empire, and it's said that his music and his voice carved out Finland's national identity during those difficult years. So I'll walk around here. You can see there he is right there. It is lit up nicely in the twilight here. There we go, John Sibelius. And since we're on the subject of the great man himself, I am now at his birthplace and childhood home. It is a large yellow wooden building on one of the main roads in the city centre, just a couple of minutes from the statue. These days it is a museum dedicated to his life and times. You can go in during the day and enjoy learning about some of his history, but at night time it is lit up incredibly in the jungle of concrete that surrounds it. Good to be here, definitely worth coming along if you're in the city. It's just a couple of minutes walk from the statue. Night time has arrived. I'm now in the central square, I guess you could say. The central part of the city is a big square with buildings all around. You can see there, I think that's the town hall, that yellow building there. Not much going on though, it is fairly quiet. There is a big white cathedral, the city cathedral right there, looking pretty spectacular. I would suggest, if you are going to come here for a day trip from Tampere or Helsinki, to definitely make use of the walking trails. That is definitely for me the best part of the day. Walking along the lakes, checking out the parks, the nature reserves, the views, the towers, all that stuff was what I really love doing. Here in the city, definitely worth seeing, but not as much to see as perhaps other towns and cities around Finland. So I think I'll take a few night shots where I can, and then I better get going towards the train station. Hameenlinna, you have done me proud today. Thoroughly enjoyable day. I'm back at the train station. It is now 11 hours later. Can you believe it? There's the old station building. I am on my way back to Tampere. Thanks for watching the video. Loads more coming from Finland. Good night. That's my train.